Hi guys, welcome back to yet another episode of the PS2 Collector, episode 71. Guys, at the moment we have got 435 games into the collection and we have spent more than £1,500. So it's been an absolute expensive journey. And guys, on this episode today, I picked up yet another 4 games, and one of them is a football game that I've never seen before. Let's see what we've got this time on the PS2 Collector. Right guys, so let's start off with the first game of this video. Game number 436, and that is PDC World Championship Darts for the PS2. Guys, this game has all the licensed players. You get Van Barneveld, you get Peter Manley, and you get the king himself from Stoke-on-Trent, Phil Taylor. However, as a video game in general, there's nothing else to it. It's just a darts game, and darts is a basic game. It does have career mode, has a party mode, has a 2-player mode, exhibition mode, challenge mode. You have things like that to add more depth into the game. But in a video game in general, as a video game in general, it's just not as fun. Unless you're playing 2-player, you can have a bit of fun. But as a single player, you get bored really quick because it is really repetitive and you're doing the same thing over and over again. And if you do enjoy darts, this game is a must buy for you. If not, all I can say is avoid at all costs. And that, my friends, is game number 436, PDC World Championship Darts. Right guys, so on to the next game. Game number 437, and that is The Sims 2 Pets. Now, I can easily say from the early to mid 2000s, The Sims were part of video game pop culture. It was really popular at the time. However, I was not into The Sims whatsoever. I played The Sims in I think 2001 on the PC. I forgot which one it was, but I never enjoyed the experience of The Sims. It was like a life simulator. But when it came to the PS2, The Sims 2 got released, and then The Sims 2 Pet got released. I spoke to my friend the other day about the comparison between both games, and what he said to me got me questioning, did EA take the easy way out? Because he was saying to me that The Sims 2 and Sims 2 Pets has no difference, but the fact that Sims 2 Pets has just pets in it. So Sims 2 Pets is the same game as Sims 2 but with pets, if that makes sense. If you play the Sims 2 and Sims 2 Pets, you know exactly what I'm on about. And for me, that is very lazy by EA. So, what does the Sims 2 Pets do that differs itself from the Sims 2? Again, it adds pets into the game. You can create your own pet, take them to the park, and you can also teach them tricks. And besides that, they're exactly the carbon copy of each other. So guys, if you do enjoy The Sims on the PS2, bear in fact, well, keep this in mind, there were some technical issues for this game on the PS2. The game did freeze quite a lot. So if I had to recommend a version, go for the Xbox version or go for the PC version, because they were the more superior versions. And guys, that's game number 437, The Sims 2 Pets. Alright guys, so on to the next game. Game number 438, and it's a collection of classic games, and that is Sega Classics Collection for the PS2. So let's go back in time to 2001. Sega left the gaming market for good, and the Dreamcast was the final ever console for Sega. Now after that, they became a third-party publisher for its rivals, and those were Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. Now for me, at the time, I was gutted because it was hard to see Sega leaving the console market and not focusing on making exclusive games for the Dreamcast, but instead making games for its rivals, which I understood you got to move on. And what we get with this game is Sega's classic games that made it popular in the late 80s till the mid 1990s. And the games that you get in this collection, let me talk to you. We get Outrun, we get Space Harrier, we get Bonanza Bros, we get Fantasy Zone, we get Golden Axe, we get Virtua Racing, Monaco GP, and a game called Columns. So you get the early years of Sega's golden generation, and you get some historic games in this collection. If I had to nitpick, they could have added a bit of fighting games in there. They could have added a bit of Virtua Fighter, because Virtua Fighter is very popular with Sega back in the days, and they could have added one or two Sonic games to make it more appealing. And what we get is a random selection of games. I know there's some games that people love in this collection, but for me, they could have added more to it. But again, it is what it is. So for me, as a Sega fan, this one was a must get for me, because I like collecting video game history, and this allows me to play games from the past, the games that made gaming what it is today. And for me, I like those kind of stuff. And if you are a Sega fan, this game is an absolute must for you. And guys, that's game number 438, Sega Collections for the PS2. Right guys, so on to the final game of this video, game number 439, and that is Football Mania, or in North America, Soccer Mania for the PS2. So this game was released in 2002 prior to the 2002 FIFA World Cup, and Lego wanted to cash in. So did Lego develop a decent football game? Let me explain. So as you know, I've played all the greatest football games that are ever released for the PS2, the FIFA series, the PES series, and I stand back from what I say, that PES 6 is the greatest football game of all time. That game is so good that 20 years later, I'm still playing it. That's how good PES 6 was. Now, when I put this game in the other day, because I was quite curious, because I never heard of Football Mania before, or a football game developed by Lego before, because Lego don't create football games often. And what I got, or what my first, thoughts were about this game, the controls were simplistic. It was really arcadey. It had power-ups such as rockets and slippy, where you can make your opponent slip. And besides that, it offers nothing else. Again, you can have a bit of fun, but it does get boring. And I think the fact that it gets boring really quick shows how my football side sees the game. Because when you play PES 6, you pick the best shooter, you do a through ball, and sometimes in my case, I've gone so good at PES 6, I can tell where the game is changing scripts. I know which player has the better shots, Adriano 99, and I understand the game's mechanics. That's how much I played PES 6. That's how good it was. So when I play games like this, I get bored really quick, because I was expecting more from the sports side of it, and it offers nothing else. It's just a kiddie game, and there's nothing else to it. If I had to rate this game, would I recommend it to football fans? No. However, if you do have children, if they like football, if they like Lego, get this game for them. They might have fun with it, and trust me, it's quite a decent game, especially with its friendly controls and its very cartoony style. It will be a blast for the kids to play. And guys, that, my friends, is game number 439, Football Mania. Quite a decent game. So guys, 439 games down into the collection. We are approaching 450 games, and we are slowly approaching to the 75 episodes. By the end of this year, we'll be across more than 100 episodes. And guys, this is why it's important for you guys to subscribe and get a chance to see all the greatest games released for the PS2. And guys, until next week, take care.